Live from the Batcave, the Fortress of Solitude, where all the magic happens. Not really. We have my top 100 dueling card games, LCGs, TCGs, and all that jazz. Part 4. Lighting in here might be atrocious, but we're going to give it a try, though. He said it's in foyo games. I told him, yes, it's the foyo games. Number
a bass heavy medley with a sample from the 70s with a
70 is Animus. It's a game crafter game made by one individual. This is a rock, paper, scissors type of game with 7 Wonders dual types of drafting for your characters. You've got these oversized like avatars, commanders. They do different things. Like an ongoing, during your turn you may reset 2 cards instead of 1 in any order. Sweet art. If you don't know what 7 Wonders drafting is, it's like you've got like 1 card, this line of cards is up, and then this line of cards is down. Great system for drafting for 2 players. In this game, you got the 1 oversized commander, you got 36 characters in the deck, and then there's a melee, a flank, and support role. Man, I have my play map, don't have it on me. I guess I'll pop it up on the screen though. A melee character in the center, a flank, and a support. So you got to be the first one to make your opponent discard 10 points of characters. Like this guy's worth 3 points. Brick is worth 2 points. Gale worth 1. And they all have different stats according to where they are in the lineup or whatever. So you will also got dice. So like you'll roll the dice to see like if you hit or not. Great game. I've got a gameplay of it on my channel. 3 health each character. Whenever they get damaged, you'll put one of these pips on them. Power, talent, and skill. There's different kind of stats. Power, talent, and skill. Like it's a paper, rock, scissors between this green symbol, blue symbol, and red symbol. And then if you have advantage versus opposing card type, you roll 2 dice. And if you just have a regular thing, then you roll 1 dice, and then the lower number gets a damage. So sweet game right there. That's number 70. Animus. He's got multiple sets up on Game Crafter. Give him a look. Fun game there. On to the number
69 like Takashi, call him Papi, worth the ASAP, keep me rocky. I'm from New York, so I'm cocky.
69. That's what she said. We got Master of Wills. Master of Wills. Here goes the big board. In different versions of the game, it doesn't have this huge board. But as you can see, I've never played my copy of the game. I have played the app a couple times though. Alright, so quick rundown of this though. This is a big tug of war. So you'll have a few community cards in the community right in the center. And then you'll want to bring as much stuff over to your side in points as you can during the course of the game. I think there's like 8 rounds. So before the game, choose from your deck 2 legendaries, 5 epics, 5 neutrals, 8 actions, 20 total. Take a hand of 3. Rest in your 17 card draw deck. 6 random community cards face up in the middle. First player moves 1 community card. If community card is a loyalist, auto move it to your loyalist column on your left. Minus sign, push those type cards that many towards your opponent's sign. Plus side equals pulled. If your community symbol is on the top left, add another community card to the middle. Faction card played at the end of your turn. Draw a card from your faction deck. If any community cards have an ally symbol, those move to your ally column. And it goes on and on like that. Power of card is the top left. Special way to pick first player. Under power shows which column or side you move it to. every round, add a community card. A lot of stuff, but community cards right here. Razor Corp, and it looks like there's Razor Corp versus Alpha Guard, and more community cards. So yeah, that's been number 69, Master of Wealth. On to number
I owe a one, we did it 68. I say how?
68, that's Town. I've actually only played this a half of a time, but the concept is just so intriguing. I just got to put it on the list. Alright, so both players will have one of these boards right here. And the crazy thing about this game is, like, there's a town square that's like the meeting battleground, but like these you'll start at your home, and then you can go from your home to a deed here, a deed here, a deed here, and then out of town, and then you can, like, these places, they become adjacent to other places, but I think you put locations on these deed places, and then you can battle the opponent at these different places. But if you leave from town square, you got to go back home or something. Interesting stuff. Then you got these weird poker hands that you're playing with your cards, because every card is also part of a poker hand. A joker right here, two of spades. You got your attacking the bullet, and then you got your poker chips. We sat down and tried to really get it. We didn't quite all the way get it, but it was great though trying to figure it out. But the setting is the Weird West. Ghost Rock is the resource. It's sci-fi, steampunk, western, and horror. A rounds game. So like it's a rounds game back and forth where each player gets 5 cards in hand, 1 action, then pass. Spades are units. Yeah, so these are spades, so those are the units. And diamonds are the deeds, which I'm sure is like locations. Man, no deeds in that deck. Clubs are the events, spells and whatnot. So noon, move your dude to a deed that you own but don't control. And hearts are the equipment. Something that you like attached to the units. Blood Curse, Queen, Noon, Hex 9, Boot. A dude at this adjacent location gets -1 influence and -1 bullets. Something like that. But yeah, town square is the central battlefield, and home is your central location. Booting means to tap. That lets you do things with the unit. And then or whatever. Town square, you can move anywhere on board without booting, but in battle you can have units join into the fight, play events, then you take top 5 cards a deck, try to make the best poker hand. Difference between ranks equals how many casualties the loser takes. So dynamic combat. Deck building, you have to make a poker hand deck and an ability deck in the same 50 or so card deck. So very dynamic stuff. Alright, so that's number 68. Moving along to number Card Fight Vanguard. Alright, Vanguard. Here goes the board, how the board looks. You have 3 in the front, 3 in the back. These are supports. The Vanguard is like the center column, and these are the flanks, I think they're called, on the left and right. And then you've got your soul, I forget what they're called, but yeah, anyway, let's read the page. But this is my little Kagero deck I used to play, and Vanguard has had 3 iterations of the game so far, I believe, and we're currently on, they have 3 concurrent forms of the game going all at the same time, I know. So Go into that in a second. But okay, but every unit has a shield value. Shield is on the left side of the card. Shield. And then grade 3s have 13k power. The front row gets boosted by the back row. Vanguard is the center column, gets to do usually 2 drive checks at a time. Doing a drive check is taking the top card of your deck, add it to your hand, one at a time, and then you get one of 16 triggers if you have a trigger. Okay, these things at the top right of the card, these are triggers. Okay, these triggers, they have, the cool thing about the game is these triggers, you can do things like get plus 10,000 points of damage that you're doing. You can also draw a card with it, plus 10,000, do a critical to make something definitely get hit and get knocked out. Or you can do a 10,000 with a heal trigger to make you take a, it's kind of like another shield game, like a Kaijudo, but with the heal you'll get a shield back. I believe you get 6 shields in the beginning of the game, and then you power up your moves with the shields. They're called Counter Blast and Soul Blast. Your soul is your life, your shields. You can Soul Blast, which is to use some of your soul to power up a move. Very interesting game. There's riding and striding, so you'll start off with your 0 powered unit that starts the game on the field, and then every turn, subsequent turn of yours, you can play like an evolution on top of that starting unit, and then all the way up to level 3 or 4. Like sometimes there's like 3 formats: the old format, the first format, the real modern format that has 4 levels, I think. And then in Vanguard, the second one, they only go up to level 3, I believe. Then now they have the, I'm really forgetting what these things are called, but Overdress is the newest one, and it's like a very cheap way to get into the game. So Overdress, they have a 4-card ride deck. Now it's only, a problem with the game used to be that they have so many clans in the game. They might have 18 clans, but then whenever they make a new booster pack set, the set might only support 4 of the clans. So now instead of having 18 clans or whatever going, they only do like 6 colors, and the colors service all the clans. So like every deck, I mean every set, you'll have support for your deck every time. So good stuff there. And then like with the Overdress, you got $5 starter decks, you got $80 cheap competitive decks, and great time to be into Vanguard, I guess. Alright, it was Vanguard number 67. Number 66. ZBuild. Played this but one time. Haven't even opened these things. So let me open these things. And might as well get it on the camera. Yeah, so ZBuild got this little cool book. I didn't even know this thing really came with the book in the box, but that's very cool. Got some damage counters. Got a little coin back here. Yeah, guy Initial J gave me these cards. Appreciate that. Yeah, so ZBuild got these 32 cards. Yeah, the lighting in here is atrocious. I really need to not do this again. Alright, but yeah, ZBuild is a 32 single card page binder. You basically stack your deck. You can choose to cast a card on one of the 2 pages you can see. So like, you can cast this card. And naturally, you will load these cards up in a way that you want to stack your book up. Alright, so You can't flip back, but you can flip forward. But now you no longer have access to the pages that you've already passed. So a Momoto, that's like your... There's 4 type of cards, Momotos, and those are like your units. Oh, Momoto, it says there. There's partner cards, there's units, there's Majestic 12. Those are played outside of the battlefield, like an Exile Zone. There's spells and there's events. There's attack and defense on the units, so one cost to cast, I believe, and then attack and defense right there. And power 2000. Alright, so spells, they're played on the battlefield, then discarded, add power to attacking Momoto. And events, played to battlefield, then return to spell book. There's a playmat. Looks something like this. It looks like you got spots for 3 Momoto, which are basically units in the front. And then you got 3 partners which support the Momoto. And then magical points. And these are these little chits right here. Right here, you'll punch these out. Nice and convenient. And yeah, the top right of the card is the MP cost, magical point cost. This one costs 1 right there, 1 right there. This one costs a big 5 friendship curry. And the lower right is the damage it does to the opponent's spell book. So this one would do 1 damage to the opponent's spell book. Then they would have to flip a page. Like they would have to flip 1 page in their spell book, bringing them closer to demise. And 3 front row for Momoto cards, 3 back for partner. 1 page. Page 1 goes your main Momoto's spot, the orange card. You can turn up to 3 pages. Each page turn gains you 2 MP. So helps you cast the spells. 2 MP. You can block by tapping a guy. Now it's injured. And 1 spell card per battle. Turn player must turn a page at turn end. So that's going to definitely get you to the end of this little book. 32-page book. And if you reach the final page of your book, you can play it for free of cost. So I always put something big and bombastic and splashy on the back page. And then win con, if opponent is on their final page and has to turn the page at the turn end and can't, then they lose the game. Great game, only played it once. Would love to play again. Moving along. Number
65 on 85 up in my Cadillac. I got that.
That'll be Crimson Company. With another huge board game board. And then basically all this thing is 3 bases in the middle, which are castles. And then you can play up to 4 units to try to claim those castles on your side. There'll be 2 players sitting on these sides. And then there's a 4-card market that you can buy units from, hire units from. And then there's a place where you put the coins or whatever, the coin supply. And there's a top deck that you get to see what's coming up next. The deck and then the top deck. Simple as that. Alright, and these cards, they look like something like this. So this one, she costs 3. She has a play coins equal to the strength value of a card in this lane to destroy it. They have little keywords like passive, income phase, gain 4 coins, then pay coins equal to the strength of this lane's strongest card. It's pretty much like a Marvel Snap before Marvel Snap 2. So in Crimson Company, you'll set up, starting player gets 5 coins, second player gets 4 coins, 3 coins and 4 coins. So So you bid on character cards to play them into 4 long lanes. You win 2 of the 3 castles, 2 of the 3 lanes to win the game. And there's 4 phases. Income phase, you take 3 coins every start of the round. Every start of your turn. Recruitment, you'll place 1 or more coins on one of the 4 available characters in the market. The top deck, you can always see what's coming up next. And then at that point, whenever you can do one of 2 things. The opponent can match the amount of coins that you put on one of the units, and then you take all the money that they put out there and your money, and then opponent gets to play that card that you just bid on. And then if the opponent chooses not to match your coins that you put on a unit, then the opponent passes, then the money goes to the bank, and then you play every card in your hand. You must play all cards in your hand. No. That's step 3, deployment. You must play all cards in your hand to any 3 lanes in any order. And then cards have keywords like flip. Whenever something instructs you to flip a card, you'll flip it either face down or face up. Then there's deployment keyword, which happens when it gets played. Destruction, when something dies. And then income is whenever income phase happens, then something else might give you more money. And then recruitment, as soon as you hire the card. And then scoring, if any lane has 4 cards long on one side, you score both sides. The higher total, they win. Simple game. Thoroughly enjoy it. That was 65. On to number 64.
Keep grinning, I'll be rolling in my 6-4.
What everybody saying?
That'll be BattleCon. And it's a doggone shame I've never played my copy of BattleCon either. I played the game several times. Never my copy though. Let's open that up. Yeah, so BattleCon. In this game, you'll choose a fighter. Several fighters. You keep all their cards in these little folders. Bunch of fighters. Simulates a fighting game on a board, which is just stages of a battlefield. Like there's range, so you'll put the little standee on this 7 spot board, and then the characters will start right here usually, and then you just fight with range. You will pick okay, so first of all, choose a fighter. There's 20 damage to knock out the opponent. Cards have a range, power, and priority. Okay, yeah, so these will be what you call a base. Everybody will have these cards in their hand. Alright, so you got a range, a power, and a priority, drive. And then like there's multiple copies of these, and then you also have a style. So say that we were playing Vanna. What you do every turn is you set out a base and a style and put them right there, face down. Yep, you put them face down, then reveal. And then the opponent, they'll be doing the same thing, reveal at the same time. And then the thing about it, you can't play the same combination of 2 cards every time, because these will be staying down or whatever, face down for the next turn when you pick them up. So like you add the base and the style together. So the Hand of Divinity by Vanna with the grasp would give the range 6 range. The spots within that you can hit the opponent with, and then 9 power and 8 priority. Seems like a very good combination. But no, I mean actually the range would be you've got to be at that range. So you've got to be very far from them. So oftentimes that move would whiff. So I might not want to do that. But anyway, you select the pairs, the base, the basic move, and the style, the character specific modifier. Choose from 10 or 12 cards. Pick up after next turn. Can't pick the same pair back to back. And then you select pairs. You ante is the second step. Reveal cards at the same time. Start a beat. Highest priority attacks first. And then you activate. If you're not stunned, you get to activate. And then before activation stuff happens. On hit happens. On damage step happens. After activating happens. The end of beat. Then recycle to put your cards back in your hand. And there's drive means advance, shot means range attack. A lot of cool stuff in this game. Great game. Got a very similar one coming later on, but that would be number 64, Battlecon by Level 99. On to number
63. So what the hell you think they do to me? But I'm the OG and I bust back. But
Battle for Solaria. A nice sci-fi LCG. The problem with this game is that the rule book was just too complicated. You could have used a very simpler starter rules. But this had one starter set printed, a second expansion set, and then I actually printed out the third set, which was just, they didn't release it in stores, retail, it was a printed play. The sites are lands. There's 90 points of value per deck at card bottom. So like right here, this card, synth card, it's 3 points of the 90 you can put in there per your 90 points per deck. This one right here, Cynthian, 1 point. So 90 points per deck. And then sites are lands. And there's two resources on the cards. So the rule book was notorious for being too complicated. There's 4 card types. There's combatants, sites, tactics. It must have a site in play to play a tactic. And then anatomy. Okay, so the green top left, that's the influence of the card. You gotta have like an influence threshold. And then the top right, that's the Solarium generation, not the Solarium that you have. So you need sites to make the resource. Cool, different thing than Magic does. But anyway, okay, influence makes sites. Sites make combatants, the purple symbol. It's got a whole different way of doing things. Mercenary card right there. Yeah, you can never attack combatants directly. You can only attack their sites. Combatants only defend. Solarium maintenance. If you don't have enough Solarium to pay to keep the guy around, the unit around, then you lose the unit. So you got to keep your sites alive in order to keep your units alive. And combatants come in tapped. There's a threshold cost, the green arrow. Longest number is of cards in influence roll equals the higher than threshold cost of cards. You don't have to tap the influence roll. These are like the lens, the influence. Damage is persistent between rounds. In the win con. Yeah. I would love to get this played on the channel. I've only played it, I believe twice, but great sci-fi art in here. Really hate they didn't give easy onboarding into the game. But anyway, that was number 63. number
6 deuce in the plush, 6 deuce Impala, pimpin' from Texas to Guatemala.
That's Grand Archive. Play this one but twice. This is an anime trading card game with no actual anime to back it, by the Weaves of the Shore. They came out like this was part of the great 2021, 2019, 2020 the renaissance of Kickstarter games. You've got a champion, which is your avatar. You've got an extra deck, which is your material deck. Start out the game with a spirit. The spirit dictates what you can put in the deck. And then you have a champion that levels up throughout the game. So level 1 Sylvie, level 2 Sylvie, level 3 Sylvie. They can become characters that attack on the field. So she'll start out with 19 health. She can go up to 25 health if you evolve her out of there, out of the material deck. So you start with the spirit on the board. Then you've got this material deck, which is like equipment that you can bring out and evolutions of your champion. Alright, now the main deck consists of the elemental requirement. That's the top right. So normal is any, like, you know, and then you can have water and terra, which this Sylvie right here becomes terra on level 3. And I got a water spirit, so you can have water and terra if you have that Sylvie out. But anyway, must be enabled to play. Cost is the top left to play a card. For the very like original thing about the game is the resource system, which we'll get to that in a second. Can only do this if the required element is enabled. And then tap to attack an ally, they counterattack. And then like if you don't know, tapping 90 degrees, turn it to the right, and then that's called tapping. No summoning sickness, so guys can come in right. Guys can tap as soon as they come in to the battlefield. Action cards, bottom right. Slow during your main phase and fast during anybody's phase. So, and attack cards allow a ready champion to attack. So some attack cards in here. You know, there's a wake up phase, materialize phase. Get 1 card from your material deck. Must pay memory cost. Banish a face down memory card at random. There's the recollection phase. Return face down memory cards to hand. Draw phase. Draw 1. Main phase. End phase. Setup. First player. Put level 0 champion into play and skip to main phase. Yeah, I kind of glossed over the kind of innovative resource system, but it goes something like you put cards face down in front of you, like land row, which is like the row closest to you on the table, and then you put those cards face down, and that pays for the cost of the card, or like a 4 cost. But you're gonna randomly lose one of those cards during the materialized phase, I believe. Banish a card at random from your memory, so go something like that. But yeah, cool game. Would like to play some more. Number 62, Grand Archive. And last but not least, on episode 4, numbers.
61 with the thing off. Me and Blue having a sing off. That's a raspberry beret, the kind you find in a secondhand store.
Hyper Juking, a game by Eric, some gamer dude on YouTube. Excellent TCG channel. We've done a few collabs. Check him out. This is a game of anthropomorphic animals in a cosmic fighting tournament. You're the avatar with the fighter card and an 8-pip, 9-pip hypermeter. So like as you do damage and do certain things that allow you to gain more hyper, then you can actually, once you have that, you will be able to transform your fighter into either a hyper fighter or do a hyper attack. So right here, Tai Chi starts as a regular fighter. Then once you get all the way to the hyper meter, then you'll be able to perform his hyper attack, which does 9 POW, 9 damage, which is a lot. Alright, so you're the avatar with a fighter card with the 9 pip hyper meter, and then you flip your fighter to hyper form, and you can perform the hyper move. You have a 40 card deck. You get milled, then you lose the game. So 9 from 40, that's a whole bunch of cards. You take damage by discarding that many cards from your deck. Both players draw 4 every round, and then 1 mulligan, and then turn player, they go first, and then you play an attack, and then opponent can block or not. You may gain some hyper, and then whenever an attack is launched, the card goes to your key pool, aka your land in Magic, your resource area where you keep your resources. So cards cost 1 to 2 max key, and then you spend key to play big attacks. Like right here, this is a 1 cost attack right here. That's the sniper beam, and then it does 4 damage, 4 POW, makes the opponent discard. Milling means to discard from the top of your deck. So mill 4 with this POW 4. And then attack, raise your hyper 1. This attack can't be blocked by a block card that shares its name with the card in your opponent's removed pile. Removed, exile in the big game Magic. So this one is a 0 cost card, does 2 damage, 2 POW. Transform cards, you have to discard a card from your hand to play this kind of spell that stays on the field spell. And then there's token cards, all kind of cool stuff in the game. Nice fun back and forth once you get the rules down. Great game, nice fun back and forth. So that's my number 61 Hyper Juking. And then be on the lookout for that episode number 5, where we'll get to number 50 through 60. 51 through 60. Alright. Foyo Games, like, comment, subscribe. West side. The best side.